Welcome back. This is Breezing Through, and I'm Emily. So, if you are new here, I have ADHD. I am 33 years old, turning 34 in 2025, and I was diagnosed when I was 16 years old. This all happened because of other things that were going on in my family with other members of my family who were getting diagnosed with other things. And it just so happened my family was seeing a psychiatrist, and my mom went, "There's something going on with Emily. We like what's going on here?" And the doctor went, "Pretty sure she has ADHD. Let's get her tested." I was tested. I had ADHD. One of the great things about this doctor, the psychiatrist, was not only did she believe in the power of medication for ADHD and finding the right medication, but she also was very strong in her belief that that's not the only thing that's going to help you, because there are times when your meds aren't going to work. There are times when you can't take your meds or you don't have access to meds. And so you need to have other coping skills to help you on a daily basis. And so I spent a lot of time with her. I was seeing her, I believe, once a month, possibly more. It's been a long time. And we did a lot of talk therapy, and she helped me create these systems of things that helped me work through every day, helped me get through school. I got through college. And of course, it was not perfect. I, by all means, have very difficult days. And anybody who is a woman that has ADHD, that even takes their ADHD medication, knows that our menstrual cycles have a very large impact on whether or not our meds work. Depending on what day of your cycle you're on, your meds might not work. So that's a great thing to have to factor in as well. But because I have these systems in place, it's not as, I don't want to say it's not as debilitating, because it's still debilitating on certain days, but I don't feel like I'm drowning all the time. There are still days where I feel like I'm drowning, but it's not constant. And so I'm really grateful for that. And so in the last 5 or 6 years, when I've changed a little bit of what Breezing Through his main mission is, part of that has been to show how I, as an ADHD mom, make our space more neurodivergent friendly for my neurodivergent family, because everyone in my family is neurodivergent. So today I want to talk about a little bit how I utilize those systems in our house and some of the things that I do. Because if you haven't been watching my videos, we lived in Argentina for 6 months in 2024. And before we left, I prepped our house for us to be gone for 6 months and for someone else to live in our house, because we had family friends live here while we were gone. And some things popped up in the last month of me prepping for us to leave, where I did not have as much time to focus on getting everything in the organized manner that I would like it to be in before we left. And so there are several spaces in our house that I left, I wouldn't say ashamed, just disappointed in how I left them. Luckily, there's still plenty of space in the house. It wasn't that big of a deal, but I did not love, even while we were gone, I would think about, oh my gosh, I can't believe I left that cabinet looking like that. I just shoved stuff in there and left. Mortifying would be the right word, I think. So we're going to go through, and I'm going to show you how I am reorganizing these spaces, which this is something I do on a regular basis. And by regular basis, I'd say maybe once a year, especially for these kinds of spaces. So we're going to cover the junk drawer that's in our kitchen, the cabinet that's below the junk drawer, which is also kind of it's like a junk. It's not junk. It's stuff we use, but junk accumulates there. There are a couple other cabinets in our kitchen that I'm going to walk you through, and then my kind of office work cabinet. Those are the 4 spaces that I'm going to walk you through in this video, because these are spaces that build up really easily. It's really easy to shove something in there and shut the doors and forget it's there. Or there's too much stuff in there and I open the door and stuff falls out at me, or I'm looking for something and I cannot find it. It drives me absolutely insane. So about once a year, I try and do this anyway, especially if my system falls behind. And that's where these systems come into play. Having the ability to go in and go, okay, I'm going to pull everything out and I sort it. This is what I'm going to keep. This is what I'm not going to keep. And then I get rid of the stuff I'm not going to keep. And then I take the stuff I am going to keep. And then I do additional piles depending on the space. It's not going to be the same for every space. But I try and come up with an organized way of going, okay, this is what we need, and this here, and this is what I need here, and this is what I need here, because I have 4 shelves and I can only use so much space in this cabinet. And so this is what's going to go in here. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fall under one of these categories, it can't be in this cabinet. It has to go away. The other thing that I have really become more proponent of, especially in the last 5 years since we lived in this house, is adjusting your space for what your needs are at the moment. So I will address this more in a different video that I do when I do some stuff in my daughter's room. But for example, with the junk drawer, I'm currently doing my makeup in the kitchen every day. I'm not doing it in my room. in my bathroom because my husband works out of our bedroom. Like that's where his office is. And I have a 2-year-old that's very active and wants me to be in the space with him all the time. And so I have found that it's easiest for me to do my makeup in the kitchen every day. So I just had like this bin of my makeup on the counter in the kitchen, and it was driving me insane because there's just one more thing. And I also do my daughter's hair downstairs at the table while she's eating her breakfast before school every morning. And so her bag of hair stuff was on the counter, and that was driving me insane. Well, I decided that that was not how we were going to do that anymore, and I was going to make space in the junk drawer for my makeup and her hair stuff. So other stuff that was in that drawer has been removed, and those two things have been prioritized, which is just different than how we've done it before. And that's okay. And that's the point. It's okay to change what your priorities are and what your needs are. And it's your house. Even if you live in an apartment and you're renting, changing things to fit what you need in the moment is really okay. And if you only use it for a couple months or a couple of years and then you change it, that's fine too. So let's get started. We're going to start off with the junk drawer. I don't call it the junk drawer because it has junk in it, but it just accumulates junk. The problem is I can hardly open it as is. So the first step is to take everything out because I can only work with a clean slate. And I also need to know what's in here. Turns out there are a lot of pens that I don't use in here, a lot of whiteboard markers I don't use in here, 3 pairs of scissors, and 2 box cutters, along with so many other things. After removing everything that I can then sort through piles later, I then went and removed the child lock that I had installed on here because it's broken now because my not quite 2-year-old is tall enough and strong enough to pull it open and break the child lock. So there's that. It's just attached with a double-sided sticky substance on the back in both locations, and so I just used a knife to pry it off and then scraped off the residue with my fingernails. Then it was time to start organizing. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be putting my daughter's hair stuff in here, and that includes a hairbrush, detangler spray, a comb, and a bunch of hair ties. I was pretty sure it was going to fit, but I had to make sure that the drawer would actually close with this bag in there, and it does. The next step was adding in my makeup. As I mentioned, I've been doing my makeup downstairs in the kitchen, and so this was the perfect place for me to put my makeup. It did take me a few tries to figure out the perfect setup and the right combination of drawer organizers. I did end up landing on only using the drawer organizers from the Home Edit line that you can find at Target. I have found that these tend to be the best for organizing drawers because they utilize the most space. I find a lot of other drawer organizer sets tend to leave you with a lot of unused space. Once I had pinned down which drawer organizers I was actually going to use, it was a lot easier to start moving forward. I was able to place all of my makeup, and then I tried to minimize what was actually in this drawer to only scissors, box cutters, and then pens and markers that I'm actually using at the moment, like for our family calendar. And then there are all of the keys that we need to have access to for our bike locks and the shed and the gate and anything else that we need to lock for. And that was it. Like I said, try to keep this really simplistic. All the stuff that shouldn't be in here, doesn't need to be in here, has been removed and is in a bucket, which I will deal with later. Next up is actually the cabinet that is just under the junk drawer. And this is also a junk cabinet because it just acquires junk. I just shoved a lot of stuff in here before we left for Argentina, and now it's time to deal with it all. For the most part, this space is actually very organized and has a really good system. I just am not incredibly great about using said system. We do have one of those battery cases, which I absolutely love, and it's really easy to use. Everybody knows where to find the batteries. So just like with the junk drawer, everything just needs to come out so that I can then start with a fresh slate. I did not remove these sets of drawers. I absolutely love these. I got these from the Container Store a few years ago, and they're really great for these kinds of spaces where you have lots of tiny little things like screws, nails, command strips, command hooks, stuff like that, that otherwise would get lost in the shuffle and would be everywhere. These keep everything organized. And so I've labeled a lot of these. So for the most part, I do put stuff away, except when I'm in a rush. So this is actually a great opportunity for me to put things that need to go back in those drawers into those drawers. And that actually deals with a good amount of the things that are just randomly in this cabinet. The rest of the stuff can really be separated into 2 piles, and those are trash and stuff that goes back in the cabinet but needs to be put back into a container or reorganized. For the most part, it was just stuff that needed to be put back in a container because all the tape had come out of a certain area, or I still have this package of those paint pens that I want to keep, but the package is really bulky and annoying, and so I actually cleared out one of the little drawers and took all of those and put those in there. So once I took care of all of this and put everything back into the system that I already had and used the structure that I had already created, it was actually pretty easy. For me and my ADHD, I have discovered that the best way to start organizing a space and create a system that I can then go back to and maintain is to find the best use of space. And for me, the best use of space here were these drawers, as I talked about. Having clear fronts that I can easily label and I can easily put stuff in different places. Makes it so when I go back to reorganize this cabinet, like today, it only takes about 20 minutes. And while the thought of doing the task is somewhat overwhelming, actually doing it is not. And knowing that I have this system in place that I don't have to recreate, it's already there, makes it a lot easier for me to go, okay, I can do this. I can get past that hurdle and just sit down and do it. And for the rest of the stuff that goes in here, really truly, I just use a few other drawer organizers and put them into groups. So like all the sunscreen and the lotions go together, all of the tape go together, all of the little tools go together. It's really easy. It makes sense. It does not take a lot of time. And then I'm done. And the cabinet looks so much better. I can actually access everything and I'm not afraid something's going to fall out when I open the door. So next up is the cabinet above my fridge. I feel like these spaces are some of the hardest to organize because they're tall, they're hard to reach, they're deep, and so stuff can get shoved back in there. So again, as always, the first step is to remove everything from the cabinet. And in that process, I discovered things like I have 2 lids for this cake carrying container. And I also have the baby Brezza that's still in here that doesn't need to be in here because my baby isn't drinking formula anymore. And why is the toaster oven in this cabinet? I can't reach it up here easily, so it needs to go in a different cabinet where it's easily accessible. So that actually ended up clearing out a lot of stuff from this space, which was great. But again, the problem is a really deep cabinet that's also really tall and in a hard to reach place. So I got these cabinet drawer inserts that you can either screw to or it's double-sided sticky tape to your cabinet. So they're very renter friendly. The nice thing about this specific set of drawers is that they are expandable. You can decide what size you want them to be, and then once you place the sticky part on them and adhere them to the cabinet, they aren't going to shift in size, which is really nice. The other thing I really like about these is that there is a third drawer slide on them, and so that adds a lot of stability for when you're using them, and also it adds to the stability of maintaining the width that you've decided for the drawer because that's one extra piece of sticky tape to go onto. They're really easy to install. They only take a couple of minutes. Once they're in, I then decided what was going on each side of the cabinet and just started putting everything away. I did realize after I was done doing this that there is still quite a bit of vertical space that is not being used in this cabinet. And so I do need to go and cut a piece of wood to add to this so that I can put additional things on a top shelf in here because I think that's going to be the best use of my space. I did not include that in this video because I haven't done it yet because I need to go get wood. The really nice thing about these kinds of drawer pulls for people who have ADHD is we have an object permanence issue. And so if you don't see it, you don't remember it's there. And so having this kind of drawer pull where you can pull stuff out and you can see what's actually in that cabinet, it gives you a lot better of an idea of what you have, where you've put stuff, and it's a lot easier to find things. And this is another one of those really easy systems that aren't that expensive that you can put into place that will make it easier for you to maintain organization in your home and know what you have. The last spot that we're going to talk about today is my cabinet in our family room that I use for my office stuff. So I have all of the copies of my downloads that I have made videos for. I have stuff that I work on a regular basis on in here. I have office supplies in here. But this again turned into a space that I just shoved stuff in before we left. And there's just so much, like that's just upsetting. It looks like stuff's going to fall out. So this clearly needs to be reorganized. Again, everything needs to come out so that I can see what everything is. And I sorted it into piles. So it was a little bit more obvious what was what, and then I could start working on things. I did already have a few systems in place with this cabinet to make this a little bit of an easier process for me. I already have a place where I keep all of the copies of the downloads that I make that I printed out copies of so that I can use them. So it's easy to put all of those together in one place. I already have a bucket that I'm putting cords in that to be stored somewhere else later so I can move those out of the way. I already have a folder where I keep documents that need to be filed away in my filing system. And then I just started a pile for trash. I also have a folder of stuff from our trip to Argentina that I'm keeping like keepsake stuff in that I'm going to make a book out of later. So again, while this looks very overwhelming, this was actually pretty easy for me because I already had these systems in place. Another thing that I like to do in a space like this is really utilize drawer organizers. You wouldn't necessarily think to use drawer organizers in a shallow cabinet, but that's going to be the best use of space. And especially the clear ones are the best way to go because you can see what's inside them. My husband's a musician, and so we have a lot of music books for different kinds of instruments. So that is in a magazine holder that I keep in this cabinet as well, as long as all of his guitar picks, because there are a few. And then that's on that bottom shelf along with all of my documents that I keep down there. And then I also keep the folder that contains all of the current bills, letters, anything that I need to be aware of currently in that folder on that bottom shelf. I also keep my design notebooks on that shelf so that I can find them easily and they're just super easy to grab. I also made a new container that is actually an old food container where the lid broke. So I'm just reutilizing it because it's still a really good container. It just doesn't have a lid anymore and it's clear so I can see what's inside it. I put all of my tripods, my microphone pieces in there so it's really easy to access and I know where all of that stuff is instead of being scattered all around. The second shelf is where I keep all of our envelopes, and for some reason I have a lot of envelopes. I don't know what the deal with that is. And then I also keep all of my pens here. I know I have a lot of pens. I have a pen addiction that I'm recovering from, and I'm trying to donate some of these, so bear with me on that. This is years of collecting pens, mind you, not a sudden thing. The third shelf is where I keep all of my office supplies, and again, clear containers so I can see where everything is, what's in every container, and if I need to get more of something. So am I out of staples? Am I out of push pins? Am I out of tape? I can see all of that easily when I open this cabinet. And the third shelf is for my random crafting projects that are my current ADHD side quests. For example, right now I'm trying to get into embroidery because I really like the idea of embroidering things onto clothes. And now this cabinet is done too. It's so much better to open up and look at, and I don't get super overwhelmed anymore. Okay, so hopefully that was kind of helpful. Again, I tried to walk through what some of my systems are for these, what my process for this is, and why I do this. I go through these spaces on a regular basis so that I can clean stuff out, so I can get rid of stuff because stuff just accumulates. It just does. It happens with everybody, but somebody that isn't ADHD might just be able to go through that faster and more frequently. This doesn't happen for the rest of us. I will have links for all of the organizational tools that I used, all of the drawer pullouts that I used. Everything will be linked on my blog, breezingthrough.com. And if you want to see more videos like this, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.